Okay, so we are on the ground at Peshawar in Pakistan, and we're going to fly across the top of Pakistan and go just over the border into India, hopefully, if we make it that far this evening. So this video may get retitled because we're going to try and do this in a small plane and fly low and slow all the way and admire the scenery. So it should be good fun. Should being the key word there. Okay, so let's go and wrong key. So I need to press Shift and C. We have to do the walk around. This is the Tomahawk, by the way. Really lovely little GA aeroplane. So we have to. Okay, so we do this in the aeroplane. I thought we had to do it out here. Cool. So press Shift and C to get back in. And we can open the tablet, go to the aircraft, and yeah, we can get rid of the chocks, the tie downs, and the pitot covers. Do we need to do anything else? I'm going to have the auto fuel selector. That's fine. We've got the GNS 530, so we'll plug some waypoints in while we are flying along. It does have a basic autopilot if I want to have a rest along the way. So it's kind of got a retrofitted tablet autopilot system, which is quite cool. So let's just pop the yoke off, go and put the battery and the alternator on, and mixtures are rich. Crank the throttle, calibrate the altimeter, so we're at 1,100 feet above sea level. You can see the Garmin is coming on immediately, which is interesting to me. Hopefully it's got good surge protection, hey? Let's go and turn the engine over.
23 kilo requesting taxi to the
okay, I haven't turned the fuel on yet, so let's do that.
For departure with flight following.
Stand by, you're number one.
And let's go and detune the radio and put it on
C Charlie Alpha
CTAF.
to runway 35 after takeoff, left downwind for straight out departure northwest. 25 Alpha Kilo.
Say okay. Enter. Actually, let's put it on radio check for the moment. We'll put it on CTAF in a moment. So we're going to put ourselves on. We'll put the transponder on. So we are Golf Bravo Papa Echo Sierra. We're going to be flying VFR though, so not going to make much difference to us. Have I got Navigraph running yet? No, I haven't. So let me just go and close the browser. Let's open Navigraph up as well. While we're waiting for the GPS to align. There's our basic flight plan. So we'll go File and copy the plan to the clipboard. So we're starting off at Peshawar. We're going to fly across the lowlands and then up into the mountains. We'll get a maximum altitude of about 8,000 feet along the way. We'll do a bit of climbing and descending. We should be able to pick our way through the hills as well. This is always a little bit deceiving. Okay, so we go into Navigraph, unload the flight plan we had, do a new flight, click on the pencil icon, paste what we had from LittleNavMap in, and that will hopefully, yeah, this isn't going to be much use in Navigraph. It hasn't got half the airfields, so we can at least program them into here though. So let's go and press flight plan and then start programming them. So we're taking off from OPPS, which is Peshawar. And press enter, and then on to OPCT. There we go, Chirat. Enter. Then on to OP20, Minhas. Enter. Then on to Opta, which is Tarbella Dam. That's correct. Then a couple of waypoints. I'll go and delete those out of the plan. Don't need them anymore. I was just trying to see if there was an easy way in. We may deviate that way on the way up there, just to get a lower route in. OPMF, which is Muzaffarabad. OPMF. So I will apologise in advance for pronunciations. So OPRT. So Rawalakot. And then VI-64, so we're crossing the border into India at that point. Rajouri. And then Udhampur, VIUX. We'll try and do touch and goes at every airport along the way. They are all uncontrolled, so if we're VFR we don't have to really announce much. VIGG is Gagal, so that's the end of our route. VIGG. Enter. And then we can zoom out a bit. In fact, if we put this on the first page of its page group in the GNS 530, it will give us arc mode so we can navigate really easily. We're going to fly with GPS navigation. We're going to press... No, I'm going to forget the controls myself now. Control-Alt-Z will align the... I've mapped that key, Control-Alt-Z, to align the compass, the gyro compass, to the magnetic compass, which we have up here. Press comma, I've already done that. So engine would have been warmed up quite some time ago. We should have had the anti-collision light on really. Landing lights, not yet. Don't need a fuel pump on. Don't need a pitot until we get out to the runway. Should we put the yoke back on? So head tracking on. So anybody watching this that's been seeing lots of stutters in the simulator, I think I might have solved it. Roll the NVIDIA driver back to, it's about 580.8, and it has made the sim a lot smoother. So let's go and have a look on the map. Let's go and shorten this up, get as much view as we can of the route along the way. There's a lot of airplanes here, aren't there? So which way would they want us to taxi? Shall we go and do this by the book and go and talk to ground? So there's no ground, so we go straight for tower 122.9. Just check that's tuned in, and it has. So we want, who are we? Let's just get this straight in my head before we do anything. Golf Bravo Papa Echo Sierra.
Delta 73, Peshawar Tower,
Yeah,
not clear what
so
you said. Say again.
we need to go into say intentions and change our identity, otherwise they'll call us the wrong thing all the time. So the aircraft ICAO code is, oh, let me go out of here for a moment. It's a PA35, isn't it? Yes, it wants me to type that in.
November 80 Tree Papa Papa, contact departure.
We're just going to say we are Piper.
Switching to departure,
Golf.
November 80 Tree Papa Papa.
What were we again? Bravo Papa Echo Sierra. So auto that. Okay. Peshawar Tower. Piper Golf Bravo Papa Echo Sierra. Radio check, please.
Grumman 1 Quebec Kilo, runway 17 taxi via Echo Delta Bravo Charlie. Piper Papa Echo Sierra, 5x5.
Okay, I need to make sure the volume's correct, otherwise ATC will blow your ears out. Of course, this is where nobody talks on the radio for 10 minutes, isn't it?
November 9 Tree X-Ray Romeo ready to taxi.
It's a little bit loud.
November 9 Tree X-Ray Romeo, runway 35 taxi via Charlie Alpha.
So yeah, change
Runway 35 taxi via Charlie Alpha November 9 Tree X-ray Romeo.
downrating the NVIDIA driver has been hugely helpful.
Peshawar Tower, good evening. Foxtrot November Sierra 17 November, requesting IFR clearance to Samarkand with uniform information on board.
So it's going to
Clearance on request. Stand by.
Peshawar Tower, Piper Golf Bravo, Papa Echo Sierra, requesting taxi for departure.
Clear to US6, runway 35, initial climb 6000, expect initial climb in 380, squawk 5115, Foxtrot November Sierra 17 November.
Piper Papa Echo Sierra, runway 35, taxi via Charlie Alpha.
Taxi via Charlie Alpha for runway 35, Bravo Papa Echo Sierra. So we need to do a U-turn and then turn right to follow Charlie and then Alpha. Okay. There's the Quasar from Flying Fries, isn't it? There's another one. Oh, they need to turn down the numbers on how often it will appear. Otherwise it's going to be everywhere, isn't it? So, right turn.
Ready to taxi.
November 2742, runway 35, taxi via Charlie Alpha.
Let me just
Runway
check.
35 taxi via Charlie Alpha November 2742.
That's why.
Centurion 432, ready to taxi. Centurion 432, runway 35 taxi via Echo, Bravo, hold short of runway 17, then Charlie, Alpha.
So we carry on in a vaguely straight
Echo,
line.
Bravo, hold short of runway 17, then Charlie, Alpha Centurion 432.
Yes, one of the curious things about doing live streaming is you can't hear yourself, obviously. So you have no idea what the mix is coming out like, other than looking on the graph on OBS, for example. So we are going to turn onto Alpha because we don't need a long runway. We've got a tiny little aeroplane. Tower, Piper, Bravo, Papa, Echo, Sierra, holding short Alpha for runway 35 departure.
Piper Papa Echo Sierra, runway 35, hold short, Grumman Tiger on the runway.
Do you know what, I might try and change the weather so we get to at least see something on the way. Otherwise this is going to be a miserable flight, isn't it? Let's go and move. Does it actually clear up any later in the day? Nope. So if we were go to custom because I want to see the mountains. And we say we go to a few clouds, maybe. Where's the plane we're waiting for?
Grumman 1 Quebec Kilo, hold short of runway 17. Grumman 1 Quebec Kilo, cross runway 17.
Oh, is that him? No, that's something else. Somebody's just taken off.
Echo Sierra, runway 35, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 35, Bravo Papa Echo Sierra. I wonder if we put the weather on live, just how misty. Oh my word, it's horrible, isn't it? Yeah, so we will keep it on. A few clouds, just so we can do some sightseeing along the way. Coming up to 2,000 feet. Let's do a slow turn to the left. This is a Piper Tomahawk. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. Is it a 38? Okay, we'll just orbit the airfield and then we're going to turn left and leave their airspace.
Papa Echo ready to taxi.
Okay, Okay, we're going to get on our way.
Sirius 5 Papa Echo, runway 35 taxi via Alpha. Runway 35 taxi via Alpha Sirius 5 Papa Echo.
So first airport to do a touch and go at is 21 miles away from us. Peshawar Tower, Piper Bravo Papa Echo Sierra departing your airspace to the east.
Papa Echo Sierra, roger, report leaving the zone.
We'll report leaving the zone, Echo Sierra. So let's have a look. If we put these sectors on, it'll be over here, look, in between Chamkani and Pabi, that we need to let them know. It always amazes me flying over areas like this, thinking every single one of those buildings is a family lives there with hopes and dreams, and it's incredible really, isn't it, when you think like that. And all these farms, look, there's generations of families that have worked the farms. So let's see how good a fuel economy we can get. I'm just trying to, we're at 3,000 feet and I'm trying to pull the mixture back and listening to the revs. So half the reason for doing this evening is I don't tend to fly the little aeroplanes around much anymore, or I haven't done. So this is me kind of making up for that. And reminding myself how much fun this is just to go for a fly and to admire the scenery, rather than wrestle with a commercial airliner or a Cold War era spy plane or whatever it might be at the moment.
Pop Echo ready to go straight out.
Okay, so we're going to turn.
Sirius 5 Papa Echo, winds 310 at 8, runway 35 cleared for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff, 35, Sirius 5 Papa Echo.
So I'm playing with the trim the whole time, trying to get the aeroplane to stabilize itself. Let's get rid of the message and increase the range.
26 Zulu ready to taxi. Citation 26 Zulu, runway 35
now
taxi
we can
via
see
Charlie Alpha.
the next airfield. We've got the sector
Runway
showing up
35
there as
taxi
well.
via Charlie Alpha, citation 26 Zulu.
The sectors that are showing up are these triangular ones.
Peshawar
Is
Tower, this is Golf Juliet Mike Romeo Hotel on final runway 35.
Cessna, Mike,
Oh, it's
Romeo
an
Hotel,
artillery range.
wind 305 at 8, runway 35,
We need
cleared
to
to
stay out
land.
of that. Is there an
Wind 350
altitude?
at 8, runway 35 clear to land, Papa Mike Romeo Hotel.
So we're not allowed in there, but we can go around the edge of it.
Alpha, Qatar 7526.
Yeah,
Papa Echo,
good
contact
job I
departure.
looked. So we do need to head west of Pabi
Sirius 5 Papa Echo.
to stay away from it. So you can see it here, look. We have to fly through this narrow corridor. It is incredible, isn't it? I'm just looking at the live stream comments there on about seeing parts of the world that you normally wouldn't, and just exploring and enjoying the view, really. So we've just left Peshawar and we're going to be heading east down this corridor between the restricted airspaces. Oh, we may not be able to go in here because this is... where's the orange one? A local flying area. Oh, it's okay. Needs authorization. I wonder if we'll get pulled up for it. We'll find out. So we're about to leave the airspace of the, the controlled airspace of the airport. Peshawar Tower, Piper, Papa Echo Sierra, leaving your airspace.
Papa Echo Sierra, Roger, leaving zone.
So we're going to go
runway
to...
35 taxi via Echo Bravo, hold short of runway 17, then Charlie Alpha King Air 6 Foxtrot Yankee.
Well, we should. Is CTAF the same as... oh, it's the same as Tower. Okay. So they let people listen in, basically.
November 575, Charlie Foxtrot, ready to taxi.
Leaves us something to listen to.
November 575, Charlie Foxtrot, runway 35 taxi via Charlie Alpha. Runway 35 taxi via Charlie Alpha, November 575, Charlie Foxtrot.
So yeah, I could pull up the Wikipedia pages for some of these airports. If I put ourselves on autopilot just for a few moments. Presumably, let's have a look. Oh, we don't get a heading bug, do we? Because it hasn't got one. Which is going to be interesting. Can I just... yeah, it will hold the heading you're doing. Which is good. And it will hold the altitude you're doing. So, we're flying along 2,700 feet. We're flying broadly up through this gap. And we'll go and pull up. What I'm going to do to cheat is, on a second screen, I'm going to open Say Intentions in their web view. Not Say Intentions, sorry, Navigraph. Accept, log in. I can show you this on the main screen as well if anybody's interested in seeing this, if you didn't know it could do it. So let me put myself on the outside view for the moment. So what I'm doing, I'm going into a web browser. I'm going to Navigraph. I don't want to go to their academy though, I just want to go to their website. And if I go to downloads, there's a cloud option. It's not very intuitive, but if you do that and sign in, then you essentially get Navigraph in a web browser, which gives away how they built Navigraph. We want to see the world map, don't we? So then you can do this, which is what I'm just about to do on a second screen. Anyway, while we're flying along, or while that's happening, I'll go log in over here and do the same trick. Sign in. Close the same advert again. World map. So I'll put that to one side of my screen.
November 78 Kilo Charlie, ready to go, straight out. November 78 Kilo Charlie, winds 310 at 6, runway 35, cleared for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff, 35, November 78 Kilo Charlie.
Okay, so along this river is the settlement Nowshera. Is capital city of Nowshera district in the Khyber, I'm going to get this wrong, Pakhtunkhwa province of Pakistan. It is the 78th largest city in Pakistan, 9th largest city in the province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. I'm going to be terrible at the place names, aren't I? So this area was developed during the Afghan Durrani Empire. Battle of Nowshera was fought in March 1823 between the forces of the Pashtuns with support from Azim Khan Bazakzai, Durrani governor, against the Sikh Khalsa army of Ranjit Singh. The battle was a decisive victory for the Sikh Empire against the Afghans and led to their occupation of the Peshawar Valley. There we go. So this place was basically built out of conflict a long time ago, so a couple hundred years ago.
Kilo Charlie, contact departure.
So we have a question in the live stream. Somebody's gone and bought Flight Simulator on the PlayStation 5. They're asking, can they have third-party add-ons, such as Say Intentions, Beyond ATC and Navigraph? Short answer, no. The console versions, you can't add on to them. So I'm going to turn our radio off for a while. So yeah, unfortunately the console versions, you can't add on third-party add-ons into the simulator. It's very much, it comes as a sealed unit essentially. Whether that will change in the future, I don't know. What we could do is, in Say Intentions, go and get our tour guide. I think we said that was a PA38, didn't we? Not a 35. So we'll just fix that while we're here. And if we go into intercom, we can say channel 1 will be for today a mentor. Ooh, have they got rid of the mentors? Or have I already got it on? Oh, I've already got it on channel 2. Okay, so I'll put channel 1 as the tour guide today, and we'll have Sarah. And okay. Hi Sarah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. It's always a good day when I'm up in the sky sharing stories and sights. How about you?
I'm very good as well, thank you. So let's have a look. I think we just passed an airfield that I was hopefully going to do a touch and go at.
I'm glad to hear that.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Just behind us, Chirat Airport. Okay, let's go do that then. So, turn the autopilot off. Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about this area? There's the airstrip.
This area near Nowshera is known for its scenic views of the Kabul River and its proximity to the historic Grand Trunk Road, which has connected South Asia for centuries. The region is also famous for its lush green fields and the dramatic backdrop of the Hindu Kush foothills. It's a favorite spot for bird watchers, especially during migration seasons. If you look closely, you might spot some ancient ruins from the Gandhara civilization, which flourished here over 2,000 years ago.
There we go. So let's turn the autopilot back off for a bit and turn this hablet off and just do this. We'll do a left pattern in for a touch and go. Did I turn the landing lights off earlier? I didn't, did I? I don't want them on now though. Although it's an uncontrolled airfield, so if we wanted to, we could go and start broadcasting if we were on the TCAS, but sorry, not TCAS, the Common Traffic Advisory Frequency, CTAF. But the CTAF around here was the same frequency as Peshawar Airport, and I don't really want to go and listen to all of their traffic again. Bounce and go. Okay, on to our next destination. And we'll go off through the hills to get there. That was half the reason for going this route, so we could do this. So we're going to go and jump through these hills. Make it a bit more interesting en route. So we've got a few people in the live stream saying it's the first time they've seen me live. So hello to everybody that's watching. It's quite unusual for me to do one of these slow flights, but it seems to be quite popular. There's 60 people watching, oh my word. I ought to keep it interesting somehow, didn't I? Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit of a stretch across this floodplain. There's not going to be much to talk about. I'm just looking on Navigraph to see where we are on the map. So if we go over towards the river...
Since we're flying so close to Cherat Airport, OPCT, let me tell you a bit about it.
There we go.
Cherat Airport is a small airstrip primarily used for military and training purposes. It's not a bustling international hub, but it plays an important role for the Pakistan Army, especially for helicopter and light aircraft operations. The surrounding area is quite scenic, with the airport nestled between rolling fields and the foothills of the Hindu Kush.
So she's kind of repeating herself, isn't she? Because the airport's back that way that we left from. So we're going to just go along the river here. Which will take us around the edge of these hills just over here. So we're heading straight for Rawalakot. Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about the town directly in front of us?
The town directly in front of us is Nowshera, which was established in the 19th century and is known for its strategic location along the Kabul River and the historic Grand Trunk Road. It's a hub for agriculture and military activity and has been a key site in regional history, especially during the British colonial era. The town is also famous for its educational institutions and serves as a gateway to the scenic valleys of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Many people visit Nowshera for its local bazaars and the nearby archaeological sites from the Gandhara period.
How about Akora?
I'm sorry, but Acura is a car brand and not a landmark or point of interest
doesn't
in this
understand.
area. If you have a question about something we can see from the air, I'd be happy to help.
So Sarah, at the moment we are flying over Rawalakot. Can you tell us anything about it?
Rawalakot is a small town known for its proximity to the Kabul River, which has supported agriculture here for centuries. The area is mostly rural, with fields and orchards stretching out around the town. It's a quiet spot, but its riverside location makes it a favorite for local fishermen and picnickers.
There we go. So just a bit further down the river we've got Jahangir. It's about 5 kilometers further on. Let's have a look at the map and see where we are. So we've kind of deviated off, look, to follow the river until we come back, and then we're going to Minhas. I think you'll find, I'm just reading the comment there about if Say Intentions had access to Wikipedia. I think you'll find that's probably what they're doing, and they're just reprocessing it, because the large language models, that's all they've done. They've read the internet. So they have a base of knowledge about common places. So depending on which models Say Intentions have connected their system, then it will be parsing that information and making it palatable. Let's see if we can actually influence the AI. Hey Sarah, can you read out Wikipedia pages for us?
I'm sorry, but I can't read out Wikipedia pages. My job is to share interesting facts and stories about the places we're flying over. If you have a question about something you see, just let me know.
There's our answer. Hi Sarah, there's a bridge over the river at Jahangir. Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. The bridge at Jehangir spans the Kabul River and was originally built in the early 20th century during British rule. It's a steel truss bridge, and for decades it was a vital link between Nowshera and Swabi districts. The bridge has seen everything from colonial-era trains to modern trucks, and there are plenty of local tales about people daring to cross it on foot during floods. Definitely not recommended. It's still an important crossing point today, and if you look closely, you might spot fishermen casting their nets near its pillars.
Okay, the valley's going to get a little bit more interesting, isn't it? Unfortunately though, we're going to be turning off left in a bit to go down towards the next airfield. So we're not continuing through the hills. If I show you on the map, you can see it here, look. We're going to turn left before we get there. I wonder, can we get terrain mode working? I can never remember how this works. Wrong way. There we go. Yeah, it's quite a boring terrain mode though, isn't it? But it has got the flight plan. So where the big bridge is down here is called Atok Kurd. Should we ask her about that bridge? Hi Sarah, there are some big bridges crossing the river Atok Kurd. Can you tell us about them? Apparently not. She's gone very quiet. Maybe I pressed the wrong button. Hi Sarah, are you still there? Did I say something?
Yes, I'm still here. Ready for any questions or stories you want to hear about the area.
What can you tell us about the big bridges crossing the river Atok Kurd? Going to, is she?
The big bridges crossing the river at Attic, known as the Attic Bridges, are quite famous. The original iron railway bridge was built in 1883 by the British and is still in use today, while the newer road bridge was added in the 1970s to handle increased traffic. The railway bridge was a major engineering feat of its time and played a crucial role in connecting northern and southern Pakistan. Both bridges offer spectacular views of the Indus River and the surrounding hills, and they're a favorite spot for train enthusiasts and photographers.
So someone's saying in the live stream comments that they want me to do a live VATSIM session. The big problem with VATSIM is finding good coverage, and it tends to only really happen when there's an event on, and then you end up sat in queues on runways for hours on end. Which is why Say Intentions and Beyond ATC have been such a huge leap forward for most people, because you can fly when you have the time to do so. You don't have to plan around when the coverage will be there, or you don't have to fly where the coverage will be, because you've got full coverage everywhere all the time. So everybody keeps asking about downloading this round the world flight plan. I have got them all saved, so I'll have a think about it. We're only on leg 15. There's over 100 legs, so this is going to go on for several years, because we're doing it in low, slow aeroplanes. So I've kind of penciled it in at 100 legs, I should say. It's probably going to be less than that, because I'm doing, like tonight, I'm doing several hundred miles in one go. Okay, there's a little airfield coming up very soon. That's not on the Navigraph map, but it is on LittleNavMap. You see it here, look. So it's Minas. So if we orbit overhead, and then we'll come in and do a touch and go. So just looking for it at the moment. Four miles away. To be honest, the whole thing about flying with ATC, when I first started doing it, and I used to fly on VATSIM years ago, but when I first started doing it, sorry, I'm just looking at the scenery here. Yeah, it was quite nervy, and then the best thing I ever did was flew with a group called My Air. And they were kind of a very much more relaxed, more conversational group. And they're still going now. If you go to myair-virtual.com, they do regular group flights. I think they've stopped for Christmas now. They'll be back in the new year. But they do big group flights with the big jets. And they have a couple of people usually, or either one or two people nominated as air traffic services staff. And they just sit in the voice channels on Discord. And so you can talk to them, and they use my little program that I wrote called Transmitter. So if you go in here and run Transmitter, disconnect this, I may as well be that tonight, haven't I? So virtual flight number 73. Now let's put our actual call sign in. We are Golf Bravo Papa Echo Sierra. Golf Bravo Papa Echo, whoops, Golf Bravo Papa Echo Sierra. Case was reversed by accident. I'm not on the Southeast Asia server, but it doesn't matter. So what Transmitter does, if you've never seen it, it allows you to play games and see where each other are. There's me over there, look. So you can see where I changed names there. But you can do the same thing in LittleNavMap, and that's how they do the radar for air traffic services. So there's the runway. It's a huge airport. So we can do the same trick as before. We'll left circuit in. So let's go and start slowing down.
Since we're flying over Minas Air Base, also known as Camera Air Base, let me share a bit about it. This airbase is one of the most significant military installations in Pakistan and is home to the Pakistan Aeronautical Complex, where aircraft like the JF-17 Thunder are assembled. Established in the 1970s, it's been the site of some pretty dramatic moments, including a major attack in 2012 that made international headlines. Aviation enthusiasts love this spot because it's where a lot of Pakistan's modern fighter jets are maintained and tested.
Yeah, obviously the scenery's been done by AI and it's not been done very well. You can see some of the fighter jets down there, look in the ground cover. I think that might be a Thunder actually. There's a very good version of the Thunder in DCS. So we're going to get into all sorts of trouble for this, but should we... Something that the Tomahawk is famous for is being really amazing at side slipping. I'll show you again in a moment once we are up in the air. Let's get over the centre line, shall we, before we touch the ground? You really can throw the Tomahawk around. Yeah, so I said about side slipping, didn't I? Yeah, so just looking at the live stream comments there about VATSIM. I know all about VATSIM. I've used it in the past. It's just that given that Say Intentions gives you full coverage everywhere all the time that suits whenever you're flying, that's the huge advantage of it. Obviously, real controllers are great as well, but VATSIM have their own struggles as well with young members. I think they've just upped the age limit for it, or was it IVAO that did it? IVAO is a similar system to VATSIM, but there's always this struggle against people messing around in the system. And also the controllers are human, and by and large they're great, but sometimes you get somebody who's completely unreasonable, or they're having a bad day because they're human, and it can ruin everybody else's day. And I've seen it happen. Okay, we're heading off towards the hills. Okay. So I wonder in the future if they'll be able to hook the AI up to the avatars to animate them and make a proper avatar. That would be quite cool, wouldn't it? For a joke with some friends the other evening, we were in a group flight. I took a screenshot of the co-pilot. I was in the Airbus, I think, at the time. Took a photograph or a screenshot of the co-pilot and then pushed it into Grok, which can animate photographs, and got it to say something, you know, so it turned to the camera smoothly and started talking and saying the lines I gave it, which I was obviously referencing the other members of the group flight, but they were killing themselves laughing because she did look very, very real when she turned towards the camera. Okay, we're heading into those hills, following our route. There's an airport just before we get to the hills. If we go and have a look at the map and see where we're going. So, Tarbella Dam. Hi Sarah, what can you tell us about our next waypoint, Tarbella Dam?
Tarbella Dam is one of the world's largest earth-filled dams, completed in 1976 on the Indus River. It's crucial for hydroelectric power and irrigation in Pakistan.
See it from here,
and
though.
its reservoir is so big that it looks like a giant blue ribbon from the sky.
So I didn't realise, looking at it, that that's what it was. So yeah, you can see it there, look. Awesome. Oh, we're going to have a fly around that on the way then. So if we follow the water on the way up, because I think we're going to have to go in through this side anyway. I'm afraid not. I'm just looking at live stream comments. Transmitter doesn't work on consoles. It only runs on the PC. So the way it works, the PC version of Flight Simulator has an interface for other programs called SimConnect. And Transmitter takes once a second, you can see it doing it here, look. It's reading all of your data and sends it up to the internet, so it just does a GET request on HTTPS and sends it to there. And that compiles the data. So then in LittleNavMap, are there any red aeroplanes around this evening? Because the red aeroplanes are people using Transmitter. I'm just looking for some. There's one. Yeah, so that's somebody running Transmitter at Courchevel. But yeah, so that's how it works. So anybody using Transmitter will appear on the map in LittleNavMap and in the radar screen on the Transmitter website. So for group, it was originally, I built it for group flights. So here's the airport where we're going to go and do a touch and go, and then we'll follow the water. Yeah, it's a real shame with the PlayStation 5 version of Flight Simulator. I'm not sure if they've changed their stance on it, but I don't think the multiplayer works with the PC and Xbox versions. It only works with other PlayStation 5 users. Well, that's what I'd read anyway. So, being asked, does the area flood a lot? Well, that's a dam. There's a reservoir up here. So that's the water they're letting out. So they've probably got hydroelectric plants in the dam wall, I would imagine. You'd have to read up on it. Well, let's ask, it's Tarbella Dam, isn't it? So Sarah will know about it. Hi Sarah, can you tell us all about the power generation that's done at Tarbella Dam?
Tarbella Dam is one of the world's largest earth-filled dams, and it generates electricity using hydroelectric turbines. Currently, it has a capacity of about 4,888 megawatts, making it the biggest power producer in Pakistan and a major source of renewable energy for the country.
Yeah, so if you think about it, all of these mountains around here will drain into that natural basin up there. So then they let the water out through the dam, and that drives the turbines to generate electricity. Okay, we're going to go into the mountains after this, so I'm going to have to start climbing pretty much straight away. Just reminding myself, looking at the profile on LittleNavMap. Well, it's not too bad straight away, but yeah, we're going to need to climb through these hills. We may have to circle when we get a bit closer. Start playing with mixture. It's a huge runway. We could probably land 4 or 5 times in the length of this runway. Haha, Mr. Lee Rose has appeared in the live stream. Hi Lee, how you doing? So anybody who wants to ask Lee aviation questions, Lee is an ex-private pilot. I can't remember what he used to fly. Maybe he'll tell everybody. Lee has some of the best stories about airports and flight crews and all sorts of things. Ah, so it was a PA-28 and C-172. Fantastic. This dam is huge, isn't it? The closer you get to it, the bigger you realise it is. I'm just busy pulling the mixture back, seeing what we can get away with, listening to the revs as I lean the engine out. There's a great question there in the live stream. What is the most cursed plane you had to use? Dams aren't that scary, because you have to remember the shape of the dirt. It's like a big wedge shape. So the more you push on it, the more it gets kind of forced into the floor because of its shape. That is a huge one though, isn't it? It's impressive. Should we put the weather back on live and see what it's doing? That's better. It looks a lot prettier. It's just that when we were flying over the lowlands back there, it was really, really foggy around Peshawar. Aha, so there's people that have just got 2024 on the PS5 that are watching this evening. That's cool, isn't it? So that's where the substation is. Yeah, look, you can see the... That's clever. And they're generating power from the turbines.
Since we're in the vicinity of Tarbella Dam, the closest notable spot is Tarbella Dam Airport. This airport is a small but significant airstrip that primarily serves the operations and logistics for the massive Tarbella Dam project. Built to support the construction and ongoing maintenance of the dam, it's not your typical bustling passenger hub. unless you count the occasional engineer or government official. The airport has seen some interesting aircraft over the years, especially during the dam's construction in the 1970s, when cargo planes brought in heavy machinery and supplies. It's a reminder of just how much aviation has contributed to some of the world's biggest engineering feats.
Okay. So what control method am I using? I have the Thrustmaster Airbus Captain's Pack, which is a stick and throttle quadrant. I don't have rudder pedals. I just twist the stick for the rudder. Because unbelievably this is not my day job. So when I finish with the simulator, I unplug the joystick and the throttle quadrant and put them away. They go up on the shelf. Because during the daytime I'm a software and web developer, or my official title is Senior Technical Consultant for one of the bigger Microsoft partners. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't think there's very few people where I work that know I do this. It's quite amusing. So now and again people will find out, and then I become the centre of attention if we're out for a drink or something, and they're all asking 101 questions about YouTube and how it works and all the rest of it. Let's go through this little inlet over here. I'm just looking at the GPS route, trying to stay fairly near to it. So yeah, I'm just reading the live stream comments about the HOTAS setups. There's a T-Flight, is it called? The Thrustmaster T-Flight, the one that's like a combined throttle and stick unit. I've got one on the floor behind me that I used for years before I got the Thrustmaster Captain's Pack. Yeah, whenever anything new comes out, then everything sells out and you can't buy them for love or money. But they will return to stock. It's just going to take a while. Have you looked on eBay? Yeah, Verpil make very, very good controllers. I saw earlier today, and I can't remember who the manufacturer is, somebody has made a console controller with throttle mixture and propeller levers on it. I'm trying to remember who it was that's built it. Oh, it was Honeycomb. My only feeling about that is flying something with your thumbs, you might not have the same amount of control. So we have 35 miles to run, 21 minutes at the current rate of progress until we get to the next airfield. Let's have a look on the map. So we're heading up towards Muzaffarabad. So into the hills we go. So it probably makes sense to aim for up there somewhere. How are we doing for fuel, by the way? That's a good question, actually. Where is the fuel? Oh, there it is. Fuel gauge is at the back of the throttles. Oh, we've got tons.
Since there aren't any major landmarks right beneath us, let me tell you about the closest city, Haripur. Founded in 1822 by Sardar Hari Singh Nalwa, a legendary Sikh general. Haripur is known for its beautiful gardens and historic forts. The city played a strategic role during the Sikh Empire, and later under British rule. It's also famous for the lush green fields that surround it, thanks to the Haro River flowing nearby. Aviation enthusiasts might be interested to know that Haripur is close to several important air routes, and its clear skies make it a favorite spot for local paragliders.
It is amazing scenery, isn't it? Gorgeous part of the world. So if we go and look on the map and show you where we're actually going. So heading up. I'm staying on the hills side, just airport hopping, because it's that bit more picturesque really. Okay, so what I'm going to do is set this on autopilot for a bit so I can go and stretch my legs and go and get a drink. That's interesting. Why did it do that? Because the compass had drifted, that's why. Okay. So I'm going to leave altitude alone. If we trim it slightly, can I get it to climb? No, it's not having it. It's holding altitude automatically, but look at it, it's just climbing gently. Which is fine, because we do want to get to several thousand feet a bit later on. I've already got the mixture pulled back quite a lot. So let's have a look at that. So what we're doing here, we're watching the RPM. We're gunning it actually. Let's go and pull that back a little bit. We're watching the RPM as we lean the mixture out. To see what we can get away with. So the reason the directional gyro would have drifted is because A, they do drift, and B, every time you turn it will cause it to drift further. So in these old analog cockpits, yeah, the directional gyro, you'd have to be double checking it following any kind of major turns against the magnetic compass. It's kind of just a guide. That's your real reference up there. Obviously we have a GPS which changes the game entirely. Okay, I'm going to go grab a coffee. I should be back before we slam into those hills in front of us. Coming up through 5,000 feet. Oh, maybe we're not going to make it, look. But then if we're off to one side, hopefully we will. We've got plenty of time yet though, that's 25 miles away yet. Okay, I'm going to go make a drink. I'll be back in a moment.
Since there aren't any major landmarks right beneath us, let me tell you about the closest city, Abbottabad. Founded in 1853 by Major James Abbott, this city is famous for its pleasant weather and tree-lined streets which look especially beautiful from above. Abbottabad has long been a gateway to the northern hill stations and is a favorite stop for travelers heading up to the mountains. The city is also home to the Pakistan Military Academy at Kakul, where many of the country's top military officers have trained.
Okay, I'm back. And I have coffee. So should we put the head tracking back on? We can have a look around. Turn the tablet off for the moment. Actually, should we put the tablet on? Because one of its tricks up its sleeve, if it works, is a moving map.
since there aren't any major landmarks right beneath us, let me tell you about the closest city, Muzaffarabad. This city is nestled in the foothills where the Neelam and Jhelum rivers meet, and it's famous for its dramatic mountain scenery. Muzaffarabad was founded in 1646 by Sultan Muzaffar Khan, and over the centuries, it's seen everything from ancient forts to modern bridges. The city is a gateway to the stunning Neelam Valley, which is sometimes called the Switzerland of the East because of its lush green hills and sparkling rivers. If you look closely, you might spot the ruins of the Red Fort, which has stood watch over the city for hundreds of years.
I'm busy swigging coffee at the moment. So when after we've done this touch and go, we'll fly along this valley. Well, obviously we'll go and explore Muzaffarabad first. So we just need to cross this ridge here, and it should be just behind it. After we've done that, we'll follow. Well, we'll have to pick our way along here, I guess. We're going to be the wrong side of this ridge. So there looks to be a way through though down here where the river goes, and then we cut through to Rawalakot. So what is the app with the sightseeing info? Do you mean the audio? So in the background I'm running a piece of software called Say Intentions that does air traffic services, but it also gives you a tour guide and a mentor. So we do have the mentor on tap. We can go and talk to him, say, "Hi, what can you tell us about the Tomahawk?"
The Piper Tomahawk is a great training aircraft known for its stability and forgiving flight characteristics. It features a low wing design which enhances visibility and reduces drag. The aircraft is powered by a Lycoming O235 engine, providing a cruise speed of around 100 knots. It's an excellent choice for new pilots due to its simplicity and ease of handling. Plus, the low stall speed makes it very manageable during training. Do you have any specific aspects of the Tomahawk you want to know more about?
I've heard the Tomahawk, and I know the Tomahawk is really good at side slipping. Is it famous for it?
Yes, the Tomahawk is well known for its excellent side-slipping capabilities. Its design allows for effective control during crosswind landings, making it a great training aircraft for mastering this technique. Just remember to maintain coordination with the ailerons and rudder for a smooth maneuver.
So for anybody that's not aware, this always makes me laugh. When I first started talking to Say Intentions, they turned around to me and said, "Would you like to be one of the mentors?" So I'm actually on the list. So I can talk to myself. The quite scary thing is the pretend version of me knows way more about everything than the real one does. So I don't tend to have myself on there because that would be the most vain thing ever. And if anybody knows me, knows I'm the least vain person in the known universe. So there we go. So I tend to go with Sarah. You get lots of choices for tour guides. You can also have cabin crew and SkyOps. SkyOps is like missions, like doing firefighting or looking for lost people in the woods, whatever it is. It's quite good fun. But obviously beyond all of that, Say Intentions also has it's filling in aeroplanes that are near us. So if you go and look, is there anything? There's no one. Oh, there we go. There's some high altitude traffic to the south of us. So that's being injected by Say Intentions. And if you listen on the center frequency, you'll probably hear them talking to each other. So if we tune into center for a while, or not talking to each other, but talking to air traffic services. So we're going to drop into this valley at Muzaffarabad. We're going to go and have a look at this city. We're going to turn right in a moment, so let's go and disconnect the autopilot.
Since there aren't any major landmarks right beneath us, let me tell you about the closest city, Muzaffarabad. This city is nestled in the foothills where the Neelam and Jhelum rivers meet, and it's famous for its dramatic mountain scenery. Muzaffarabad was founded in 1646 by Sultan Muzaffar Khan, and over the centuries, it's seen everything from ancient forts to modern bridges. The city is a gateway to the stunning Neelam Valley, which is sometimes called the Switzerland of the East because of its lush green hills and sparkling rivers.
So we should drop in over this gap directly into the city and should see an airfield down here somewhere. What is the wind doing? Okay, yeah, so the wind's in our face. The nose lifted as we came over the crest of the hill. So Flight Simulator does simulate that. So the air mass will be moving up the hillside towards us, and it threw the aeroplane up in the air slightly. Thankfully, it's only not a very strong wind today. So where is the airfield? Just to the left of the direction we're going. That can't be it, can it? That's far too small. Is that it over here? We'll orbit and look for it. That's it, isn't it? That patch of grass is the airstrip, I think. No, it's the other side of the river, on a raised platform. Okay, so is it on the hilltop? It is. Oh no, it's the other side of here. Okay. Got my bearings now. Yeah, you can see it directly in front of us, look. And here's the city. I was wondering where the city was. So let's drop in using this aircraft's famed side-slipping capabilities. How amazing is this place down here? Wow. Let's just scoot sideways across the cockpit a little bit. What a view!
there aren't any major landmarks right beneath us, let me tell you about the closest city,
Please don't.
Muzaffarabad. This city is
This is
nestled
why
in the
the tour
foothills
guide
where
can
the
be very
Elam
annoying.
and Jhelum rivers meet, and it's famous for its dramatic mountain scenery. Muzaffarabad was founded in 1646 by Sultan Muzaffar Khan.
I
and
need
over
to have
the
a word
centuries,
with the Say
it's
Intentions
seen everything
developers
from
about this,
ancient
don't I?
forts to modern bridges. The city
So,
is a
we're
gateway
going
to
to
the
headwind,
stunning
so that's
Elam
perfect.
Valley, which is sometimes called the Switzerland of the East because of its lush green hills and sparkling rivers.
Hey, this is an uncontrolled airfield, so we can just throw ourselves in. If we were doing it properly, we'd announce our intentions on the Common Traffic Advisory frequency, but we're not going to. We're just doing a touch and go, remember. So, we carry on until we get to Saran, and then we start trying to pick our way through the hills. Looks amazing around here, doesn't it?
Down to flight level 080, Husky 8 Echo Yankee.
So you're hearing little bits of comms from the air traffic overhead. Because we're tuned into the center frequency. So we get this to hold us and climb gently. So I'm head tracking off, and I'm going to go and have a quick sip of my coffee. This is the live weather, by the way. So Pilcher's asking in the live stream comments, I wonder what the live weather's like. This is live weather. It's not live time because Pakistan is obviously a lot further east than the UK, and it's the middle of the night here now. It's 11:30. Pakistan's several hours further ahead, so they'll be in the early hours of the morning by now. Which I can show you. So if we go and wind this up, so you can see, look, if I go real time, it's always funny, isn't it? You can just see, look, it's very dark. So we'll wind that back. could play games with golden hour, of course. If we can find the sun. Oh, there's too many clouds in the way. Oh, look, there was some rain. So this is one of the tricks, 2024. It's not just changing the time. It's going backwards through its memory of what the weather was like earlier in the day. So this will clear itself out because it will remember. It will be looking up the clouds. Oh, it's even worse. We don't want that, do we? We'd like some nice weather, please, if at all possible. Did it stop raining? Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's raining further away. And this is all about doing a bit of sightseeing, really, isn't it? We're not really that interested in seeing, you know, how dangerous could it get. So coming up to 5,000 feet, where is, in terms of altitude, what altitude is the next? We've got quite a long way to go.
Since there aren't any major landmarks right beneath us, let me tell you about the closest city, Bog.
No.
Nestled in the lush hills of Azad Kashmir, Bog is known for its stunning natural beauty
flight level
and cool mountain
350.
air. The city is surrounded by forests and streams, making it a favorite getaway for locals looking to escape the summer heat. Bog was heavily affected by the 2005 earthquake, but the resilience of its people is legendary. They rebuilt much of the city by hand. If you look out, you might spot the terraced fields and traditional houses dotting the hillsides, which make for a pretty spectacular aerial view.
You can see the terraces here, look. Should we turn it up, autopilot off and fly it for a while? I'll put the head tracking on as well. Should we change the time again, see if we can get rid of the rain? I know it's cheating. Lunchtime. Go away, rain. Oh my word, it's even worse. About 1 in the afternoon. That's even worse. Half an hour on from that. This is where we have to use the instruments. That's even worse. Oh, come on, it can't be that bad all day long. Maybe it can. Nine in the morning, let's try that. That's better. So that rain's obviously going to make its way along the valley over several hours. So we're going to have to go through it at some point. So we're going this way anyway, away from that cloud, which is quite useful really. Well, at least we washed the aeroplane, hey? So we're 21 miles, 13 minutes at the current speed from the next.
Islamabad Control, Speedbird 15, flight level 360.
Speedbird 15, radar contact.
So yeah, we're coming up through these peaks, look. So this isn't far off, is it? We're going to have to get to... There's a pass up here that's going to be quite tricky. We're going to have to go flat out and start climbing. I'll start climbing now. So about halfway towards where we're heading. We may have to circle in this area for a while to get some more height. We need 8,000 feet. Yeah, we're going to have to circle around here and start doing it now. I'll turn left first and then start doing a lazy right turn. Because you don't want to end up in one of these valleys without room to turn. We're already down to 70 knots, look. Although saying that, we're getting higher, so the indicated airspeed is no longer that accurate. Ground speed will be far higher. So 150 degrees is the direction we want to turn back round to, but we're just going to do a big lazy right turn and keep an eye on both the airspeed and the climb rate. If we lose visibility, we'll have to...
Since there aren't any major landmarks right beneath us, let me tell you about the closest city, Bog. Nestled in the lush hills of Azad, Kashmir, Bog is known for its stunning natural beauty and cool mountain air. The city is surrounded by forests and streams, making it a...
Just switched her off for a bit. So I'm just watching this and this and that. Oh, that's some proper rain coming down over there, isn't it? See now, it's a fool's errand to try and chase climb rate. You need to get speed more than pitch, if that makes sense. And we're starting to get pelted by that rain. You can see the drips whizzing up there. Yeah, they're going past on the window here, this side. So one more turn and we should be high enough, I think, to clear the hill. Trouble is, we're getting near the ceiling for the aeroplane. Going to face that terrifying wall of water again in a moment. Okay, we're going to straighten out this time and go for the lowest point, which is there. And we'll go for airspeed rather than climb rate, so we'll try and maintain about 70. Yeah, you can see hills the other side now, look, we're going to be okay. I just realised we've been flying along, although with this weather the landing lights not such a bad idea to have them on. Let's turn the landing lights back off. It was so pretty at that end, and then look. That cloud's just out to wreck everybody's day, isn't it? Am I at 17 or 7? I'm at just gone 8,000 feet, look. So there's the tens of thousands, the little thin needle with the marker on the end. So there's the thousands, and there's the hundreds. So 8,200 feet. And look how much we've leaned it out. And we can see the next airport 16 miles in front of us. So this was always going to be the most difficult part of this route. After this it's fairly straightforward. Whoa, personal space. So, where are we going? We need to get the other side of this range of hills somehow. I think, do we go around the back of here? Or do we carry on through that gap there? Let's just put the autopilot on for a moment while I have a think. So if we turn right, and then we can cut through, that's the easy way, isn't it? So I presume that is here, just, which we could do now. So if we put altitude hold on, So we're holding altitude and heading as we go off across this valley, but we're looking actually, oh my word, this weather is coming in quickly, isn't it? We want to get the other side of there. Yeah, let's come off the autopilot. Storm is chasing us. So there's the place that we were being told about. Isn't it amazing where you get settlements that grow up in the middle of nowhere? Okay, so we're getting closer to Rawalakot, and then we'll have to climb. Yeah, that's the highest point of the route, I think. The rest of it is fairly straightforward. So we need to cut around the back of here, and we should see an airport down there. Whether we want to descend down to it, because we'll have to climb back up again. Although it's not much of a climb, is it? The airport's at quite a high altitude. You know, I'm actually getting quite tired, so I might call it there for this evening and continue on. Whoa! This is the problem in the hills, look, the wind got under the wing. I need to be keeping an eye on it now. So maybe we actually call it here for this evening, which is a good length. It's about 150 miles we've done, isn't it? If we go and if we were to remove that, 140, that's probably enough for one evening. Because the general guide when I penciled in the route around the world was about 150 miles per leg with the smaller aeroplanes, just to keep it sensible. So I'll just retitle the video. So next time we will be going from Rawalakot over to I've forgotten where we were going now. It was just over into India, wasn't it? Gagal. So should we drop down into the valley, seeing as we can? We'll fly low along this riverbed. Just to give us a bit more fun on the final part of the journey. So we're just side slipping. So full right rudder, left aileron down. If you look behind the aeroplane, you can see what it's doing, look. Skidding towards the floor with the greatest of ease. Remove the rudder, bring the power back in. So which way do we go? Oh, we're going to run out of steam. Trying to claw some airspeed back. This is the danger of doing this. This is exactly what I told you not to do. And I've done it. I hope we're going the right way. Well, no, we need to go left. Or right even. So I think we might be okay actually. We are full throttle and we're not accelerating because we're actually climbing, look, at 500 feet a minute just to stay above the tree line. Yeah, I'm going to have to save us with a judicious use of slew. So there we go. That's why you shouldn't do what I did. I gave up all my altitude to fly along that muddy river and then couldn't climb out because it was a false flat. We were climbing the entire time. And at this altitude, this aeroplane just can't do that. So we need to get the other side of these hills. We are going exactly the wrong way. Okay, we're going to double back. Have we got enough airspeed to turn? Not really. I'm trying to give ourselves some room. Nope. Let's give ourselves a lot of room. This is what happens when you don't look at the map. So we want to go left. But where are we going to be able to go left? How far back along the valley do we have to go? Do we have to go all the way back round that? outcrop. Just watching the airspeed, wondering if we can pop the airplane over this ridge in front of us. That's the safer way of finding out. Yeah, we'll be fine. Have to be careful with wind direction. It's almost like we're being pushed into the hillside. And it's because, oh, we're going into the wind. That's interesting. Okay, yeah, so the air mass would have gone over the rim, or over the ridge, and been going down there, so it took us with it. So we were going in towards the hillside. You have to be so careful. Okay, so the airfield is to our left somewhere. Is it not? It's not on this ridge, is it? Let's climb a little bit to get some visibility of the area. Should be right here somewhere. Maybe just the other side of this ridge. There it is, behind the tree line. Which way was the wind? Oh, we need to come out the other end, really. Okay. If we come in from this side, we can avoid the hill. Doing this with no flaps, by the way, because we're in thin air.
Islamabad Control, Malaysian 1, flight level 400.
Malaysian 1, radar contact.
The airplane's right on the edge, don't they? Okay, that's it. That's us done. So let's go and turn the airplane off. So the easiest way to clear the engine out is just to pull the mixture back, which will starve it and use up any fuel left. And then... Alright, accidentally turned the starter then. Turn the fuel off. Mags off, alternator off. And there we go. I think the doors work in this. You have to... Is it got a latch? Excuse me. Oh, I thought that should open. Hasn't got... Oh, it's got latches up here. There we go. So we survived. If I press Shift and C, we can go for a walk. Backspace. There we go. And this is ridiculous, but I'm going to do it anyway, just to show you, if you've not seen 2024 much before. The trees are incredible. It's nuts, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. Okay, so we're going to leave it there for today, and I will carry on with this journey another evening, and we'll continue on towards India. So we've been flying across the top of Pakistan tonight, as you can see. So we took off from Peshawar, and then we flew over to Nowshera, and then to Minhas. Then we flew over towards the dam at Tabela. Then we flew across the water and then through the mountains and had spectacular scenery. We discovered a wonderful city, Muzaffarabad, which was absolutely spectacular. Then we flew along the valley from there, got into trouble just here in the middle of the hills because I wasn't looking where I was going. There's actually a supermarket there, look. The Burmu Bazaar, Burmu, singular Rawalakot. Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that, and we'll carry on another evening, and we'll carry on into Indian airspace and fly down towards Gagal, I would imagine. So we'll go airport hopping along the way. Should be good fun. Okay, see you again soon. Take care.